Yo, what's good? It's Pico over here in Singapore, and it is Thursday night. I gotta say, it's been an amazing day. Very, very interesting. Woke up super early because I thought I had a conference call this morning at 7, which got postponed. I'm not exactly sure when it's postponed to, but for now, um, it's postponed. So, woke up at like 6, which I've been dying to do that forever, but I just never do it. Finally got up at 6, got everything done, got baby girl dressed up, dropped her off at school. Um, because I dropped her off early, I figured I had time enough to get to work before I did my live training in our Facebook group. So as luck would have it, the train was stalled, and I got there maybe 15 minutes later than the start time for my training. So I was a little late. And then by the time I got there, I was kind of flustered with the timing of the trains, and I was worried that I was late. And as much as I would have liked to expound on the material I was trying to cover, it ended up being a very, very short, sweet, to the point training. I think it was short and sweet and to the point, but it was very short. I will give you that. Um, so far the feedback has been good. I'm not particularly happy with it, but I think I got the message across. So that was that this morning at about 9:15 in the morning for me. Um, Went up to work, actually had the whole office to myself for the most part. One of my students came in and she quietly did her homework right next to me. She didn't have a class or anything, so Saiwi actually kept me company for a little while. And that was until about, I don't know, 3:30, almost 4 o'clock, when I had to go down to Eastgate and practice the workshop that I'm supposed to be presenting from now on. So that was interesting. As I've mentioned before, learning to speak to a Singaporean crowd, especially to parents, the generation that I'm talking to, I need to kind of dumb myself down, change the vocabulary that I use, because apparently I sound too salesy, which is fine. I mean, if that's the market and that's what they want, right? I can't really change that. So the hard part for me is to dumb myself down, though. I've done it before as a kid because I wanted to fit in, and eventually I just kind of stopped trying and embraced the fact that I'm quite wordy. I like the thesaurus. I like $5 words. And yeah, it's kind of like grown from there, I guess. So this is definitely a push out of the comfort zone. I can feel my every fiber of my being fighting not to do this because it's like against everything that I've fought so hard to like create about myself, which is fine. Oh, by the way, that's my daughter snoring in the background. I'm so sorry. Um, yeah, so that was quite interesting. Finally, made it home in the rain, picked up baby girl, went to McDonald's, picked up some food, and came back home. Now, I am meant to bake brownies. I have not started yet. I may do that after this podcast. I'm not sure. I think I will. I promised I'd bring brownies to the Christmas party tomorrow, so I better get that started eventually. Um, let's see. The topic I chose for today is actually blood and water, and let me explain what that means. They say blood is thicker than water, but in my particular life, I feel like blood has no bearing on water. There are certain things you kind of There's certain things that bond people together, mostly through experience, mostly through like a shared portion of your life. And I had the distinct privilege of reconnecting with an old family friend. I mean, honestly, I don't have a memory of Brisbane without you in it. And yeah, it was just really great to connect. It's been about 20 something years since I talked to him or, even saw him. And I just remember him being this really great big brother. He had two twin sisters. He has a little brother after that. I mean, like, I just remember all these great memories. We used to all run around like a little crowd of Indian kids. We went to Tamil school together. I think we lived around the same neighborhood together for a long time until my dad started moving us around, of course. So, yeah, I connecting with him and talking to him, I gotta say it's different when you talk to someone who knows you. I mean, knows you before you changed, before you adjusted, before you like, shut down certain parts of you and developed other parts of you. Like those people that know you as a child those people are important because they hold the key to who you are in essence. And a lot of what I wanted when I came to Singapore, when I left my husband, left the States and came to Singapore to start over, I came here because I had the greatest concentration of family members in one area. And what I really wanted was for them to be able to spend a little bit of time with me and tell me, remind me, like sing my song back to me. Tell me who I was as a kid. Who am I naturally? Because honestly, I didn't know. When I left the States, I was pretty broken. I was pretty depressed. I was super skinny. I was in bad shape, y'all. I think I was down to like 98 pounds. It was all I could do to focus on baby girl to get her through the day. So, I mean, I was still, when I got here, I had just stopped breastfeeding. She was still in diapers, still needed everything to be done for her. So I was happy to do that because it kind of distracted me from what was going on in my own life. But yeah, it would have been nice to be able to connect to my cousins, my uncles, for them to actually sit down and spend some time with me and help me figure out where I was meant to be and who I was meant to be. It didn't happen the way I thought it would. And that's cool. I mean, everybody has their own life and they kind of, go their separate ways when you've been missing from their lives for about 30 years. So I can't blame them for that. But it was a little lonely. It was a little difficult on my part. So it's all good. I mean, I'm past that now. This is like 4 years later, right? But you can hear my voice. My voice is cracking a little bit because talking to this guy kind of brought back a rush of memories of, feelings where I kind of fit in. I knew where I fit in. Yeah, I was the dorky, gangly looking tall girl or whatever in the group of kids that we ran around with. I mean, that consisted of my two cousins, my brother, a bunch of old family friends and their kids. So it was Muthu and his twin sisters, and then Nagu and Radha, me, Hari Ishura, Kannan, because Kaplan wasn't born yet. And we all ran around together because, our families were so close or whatever. And then we met up with people like Kannan, Vivekanandan, and oh goodness, I can't even remember these people's names now. Oh gosh, Kumaran Mahalingayar and his sister, I think it was Janani. God, I can't even remember these names really, but it was a lot of us, Sri Lankan Tamil kids. We went to the, Brisbane Tamil Padasalayam. It was really cool. But yeah, it was such great memories, and it was really great to just catch up with him and feel like I could talk to him and he would understand because he knew who I was. He doesn't know who I am now, but he knew who I was, and that was enough. Like, that's like, I don't have to explain a lot. He already knows. You know what I mean? He knows my family. He knows my dad. He knows my mom. He knows my brother. He knows. He knows. And it's kind of nice not to have to explain all of those things already. It's nice to be able to talk to someone who kind of has that base knowledge about who you are. Gosh, I think he was there when I broke my nose. But yeah, it was amazing to catch up with him, and I just keep thinking back to all these new people that I'm meeting now, that are slowly getting to know who I am now, and then people who have been there in the background forever. The funniest thing, the closest friend I have, like right now, as of right now, the closest friend I have from high school is actually the guy who hated me the most while we were in high school, Parker Taylor. I still keep in touch with him to this day. I call him every year for his birthday without fail. I think I've mentioned this before. If I can't get a hold of him, I'll call somebody, one of our friends who does have his number. And if I can't get a hold of one of my friends, I will contact his mother. And I never thought I'd say that, like if I was back in Fuku school and my future self would have come back and tell me this is where we'd be like 15, 20 years later, I'd probably laugh in her face and be like, whatever, he hates me. He hates my guts. But yeah, a lot changes. And I love that there are some people out there who know me, or at least know one version of me very, very well, enough to be able to say, yeah, man, I remember when you were like this and you were like that. I like hearing those stories. And no, it's not about me being, full of myself or anything, but I like hearing those stories because it reminds me of my evolution. Like, where I was at this point in my life and where I was at that point in my life and what did I do to, to cope with whatever I knew was going on but no one else knew. Um, so it's like it's uncanny, and that's why I'm saying, yeah, the old saying goes, blood is thicker than water, and it should be, and scientifically it is, but I don't know. My family, the people I would call on and I know I could depend on them, isn't all blood. I think it's mostly water. And that's cool. I'm not knocking that at all. Everyone has their own path to lead and I have my own race to run, and I'm happy with the people I know I can depend on. I really thought that finding out who I was as a kid would help me pick myself back up. It turns out being angry at my situation helped a whole lot more. Um, when I left, within a week or so, he told me that he had filed for separation, which I hadn't even broached the topic of divorce, let alone, I mean, separation, let alone divorce with him. And for him to bring that up and say he'd drawn up the papers already was kind of like a kick in the gut. Because up until that point, I really hadn't decided yet. I was still having a lot of guilt over leaving the kids. I was freaking out a little bit because I was actually, separating baby girl from her father, just a lot of things going through my mind. But when he said that, it was like something broke. And I kind of used it to fuel, like, my comeback almost, I guess. It kind of woke me up out of this like zombie-like state that I was in, like there where I was like feeling sorry for myself or whatever, and I put it to good use. I mean, I finally picked up and started looking for work, like honestly looking for work instead of saying, yeah, I looked and I didn't look. um, Eventually, one job led to another job, led to another job, and I think throughout the course of my employment here in Singapore, I've learned to pick myself up a little bit more and a little bit more. I think I've drawn my strength from all of these water people in my life that turned out to be family anyway. Um, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm happy that my family didn't do what I wanted them to do. I'm happy that they said no to me. I'm happy that they were too busy to pay attention. Because look at me now. They were convinced that I couldn't manage without a maid. Look at me now. It's funny what some people will encourage you to do and some people won't. The people you expect to have your back and don't. And that's cool. I mean, everything happens the way it's supposed to. And obviously, I was meant to hear a lot of no's to get to this point. It wasn't easy to get here. It wasn't like I woke up one day and was like, yeah, I'm gonna build a brand, and next weekend, yeah, I'm gonna build a website, and the next weekend after that, yeah, I'm gonna start a podcast. Nope, that's not how that went. I had that business license for 2 years and did nothing. I mean, if you ask my mom and my brother, like, yeah, you're gonna start a t-shirt, yeah, sure, a t-shirt company, Where is your business license again? Yeah, okay, I got you, I understand. um, I saw something today that said some people wait 10 years for that 1 year that makes a difference in their life. And I kind of feel like that was this year. I was born in the year of the rooster, and this year is the year of the rooster. And I kind of felt this different energy on January 1st of this year. And I kind of felt like, damn, you know what? Yeah, this is going to be it. And I don't know, but it feels different. And it was a period of great change for me and transformation for me, because it was just after my grandfather passed away. It was just after my mom had left. It was just after my brother left. So it was down to me and my maid and my daughter. And I could feel like whether this was the year or not, I was going to have to put in some work. I was going to have to make some major changes, because I knew at the beginning of the year that my maid's contract would run out by August. So I kind of had to start putting things into place, start working on some stuff like right away in order for me to be ready to let her go by August. But funnily enough, stupid stuff happened, and I was ready way before that. I was ready a whole 4 months before that. So by Tamil New Year, which was, I think it was April 7th of this year, I was ready. I let her go already. Um, but if it wasn't for the support of certain water people and certain blood people, I don't think I would have made it through. I don't think I would have handled that traumatic situation as well as I did. I'm sure I could have handled it better, but I don't think I would have handled it as well as I did. So, whatever you're going through in your life, whatever struggles you've been through, as much as you might be mad at the people who aren't doing what they said they would, or doing what they're meant to do, what their duty is, whatever it is, okay? As much as you're mad about that, be grateful. It's meant to teach you something. Really, truly, it's meant to teach you something. It's meant to turn your life upside down in order for you to heal something that you consistently go through all the time. I think I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. The universe delivers the same lesson to you over and over again until you get it. Once you get it, it will never present itself again. I have separation issues. I don't like to be left behind. It hurts my feelings, like, to the core. I have anxiety about it. I worry, while you're with me, I worry that one day you might leave me. That's how bad it is, okay? I like create problems that aren't even there. But I'm working on that. There's a particular relationship in my life that's kind of kicking my ass on that right now. I have a runner in my life. They come and go, and it pisses me off to no end, but I can't say anything because I'm terrified they'll leave once and for all. Stupid, right? Anyway, blood and water. Family, you define what family is. There is no conventional term that means family. Ohana is Ohana. You define what that is. Your circle, your tribe, your closest friends, the people you always go to. I think I read somewhere, like lately I've been seeing it a lot, if a friendship has lasted over 7 years, it'll never break, it'll never die. Some of these friendships, they're going on 20 years now. It's amazing. When we catch up, it's like we never skipped a beat. We just have to, fill in the details in between where we won't with each other. Got a lot of warm fuzzies with that conversation today. It was kind of nice. Anyway, I'm going to call it a night, you guys. I think I'm actually going to bake. Yeah. It's, to give you some perspective, it's about to be 11 o'clock at night now. I'm about to make brownies. Hilarious, right? Yeah, no. I'm brilliant. Y'all get some rest. Have a blessed Thursday, whether it's morning or evening for you. And I will catch up with you again tomorrow. Just a heads up, tomorrow I have a conference call at 9 and a Christmas party for the kids in the evening, so I'm actually looking forward to that. Anyway, y'all get some rest and I would check on y'all tomorrow. Bye.